Hello, eighth grade students. It's so great to be here, or not actually be here with you, but actually to make this recording for you for a part of the Junior Achievement JobSpark event. My name's Tom Plake, and I work at an organization called The Journey, where I get a chance to support people who are youth workers all over the state of Indiana and to help them to be better and strong and to attend to their own learning throughout their entire working life. And I am so happy to be here with colleagues and friends who are also movers and shakers in the nonprofit world in this state. And it's so great that we're going to be able to have some conversation and give you a little insight about what it's like to have jobs and to do work and to make a difference in all of the places where we are in this state. And so without any further ado, I'd love for you to meet everyone here who is on the panel. So if we could go around, how about Desmond, how about if we start with you? Would you just say hi and let them know who you are and where it is that you do what you do?
Hey there, eighth graders. My name is Desmond Aliseya. I live in Portage, Indiana, city right in Northwest Indiana currently, and I work for an amazing organization. We're called A Positive Approach to Teen Health, PATH for short, and we run programming and curriculum in middle schools and high schools throughout Indiana, and we talk to kids your age. Well, not kids, your young adults. We talk to young adults your age about making healthy decisions, how to avoid the pitfalls of bad decision making, avoiding the risk, the dangers associated with drug use, alcohol use, sexual activity at such a young age, and keeping your mind and your emotions in a very healthy state. I'm the director of communications and awareness there, so I do a lot of marketing. I work with our social media. I got the cool job with the organization, and I'm happy to be here this morning talking to you guys.
How about you, Terencia?
Good morning, eighth graders. My name is Trencia Turner, and I am the community school coordinator with Mary Rigg Neighborhood Center, and we are located on the southwest side of Indianapolis. And I facilitate programs and services on the near west side to 5 local schools in IPS. And so if you are in need of any programs and services such as after school tutoring, nutrition or food, like any parks, mental health, I'm your person that is in need and will help you out in the local community. And thanks for coming this morning.
And Kevin?
Well, hello, eighth graders. My name is Kevin Enders. I work for an organization called the Indiana Youth Institute, and we actually are a nonprofit, and we serve the state of Indiana. And really our role in the state of Indiana here is to help organizations like everyone's organization on this panel here. And we walk with organizations who help kids, whether that's through child abuse, suicide, mental health issues, education. So we work with schools such as yours to how do we help teachers, your principals, the bosses of these organizations, and everyone who works with the kids, how do we help them become better at doing their job? And also, how do we help teach them what's taking place? So we provide what we call professional development. So believe it or not, learning is going to continue to happen after school. And that's what my organization we help do, is help teach of what's taking place and provide that opportunity to grow and learn so we can help kids for a long period of time.
And the wonderful Lauren.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Freeman, and I am a public librarian at the Indianapolis Public Library. So a lot of you guys probably are very familiar with the library. We're all throughout Indianapolis. I live in Indianapolis. We have about 20 to 23 branches. I can't remember the exact number, but at least 22 all across Marion County. We have all kind of programs for adults and teens and children. We have more than books. So want you guys to come visit. We have the books. We have movies. You can download things, because I know a lot of people are a little nervous about going outside. So you can download books. You can download movies. We have a lot of resources for our community. So as a librarian, I'm there just to help everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Well, I'm sure that everyone, eighth graders, I'm sure that you have been having conversations, at least a little bit, about career paths and how you actually have a career path and make choices about what you want to do in this world when you're working. And so everyone, I thought it might be great for us to let them know how it is that we got to the work that we have right now. How is it that you actually got to your place of employment? How did you, what are the steps that got you there, and why did you end up where you are right now in the job that you have? So maybe let's go around a little bit again if we can. How about if we, Kevin, how about if we start with you this time?
Well, it's not really a straight path or specific steps to take. It can be a wild journey, and that's okay. So I actually started out, and when I was in 8th grade, I did babysit. I babysat some neighbors down the street, as well as I started teaching swim lessons. And I found out that I really enjoyed helping people in a variety of aspects. So when it came time to, after high school graduation, I wanted to become a teacher. So I went to school for teaching, and I taught for a little bit, actually at the middle school level. I taught 8th graders. And I realized that teaching kids in a classroom was very fun, but what more can I do? Because I saw the power of learning and the connections and how vast that can be. So I actually jumped to a community level where I ran some programming for not just one school that I was a teacher at, but for actually 6 different schools in the community I lived. And then I wanted to keep growing. So I looked at opportunities at the state level. And now I'm working for an organization that I get to travel around the state of Indiana to teach and help people who help kids. So I went from teaching kids directly to working with those who work with kids. And it's not a straight line. I had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of questions, and it took some time to understand really where I wanted to land. So I encourage you to try anything and everything to see if you like it. And if you start liking it, learn more about it and continue to try to do so.
Kevin, why is it that the Indiana Youth Institute is a great place for you?
The Indiana Youth Institute is a great place for me because personally, I like talking to people. I like learning about people. I like being involved in different aspects of change. So if you ever have identified anything or think about anything like, oh, I wish we could change this, or I wish I could make a difference in this, that's what we do. And that's what draws me to the Indiana Youth Institute and the people who work here, as well as the people on this call. But we have an opportunity to make a change, not just in a classroom level, but throughout the state. And that's what I'm very excited about. And that's why it's a good fit for me, because I see an opportunity for me to make a change.
Nice. That's so awesome and so true. How about Lauren? How about you? How did you get to where you are now?
So it's interesting. I actually started I started thinking that I was going to be in the medical field, but through a series of events, I just my mother ended up working for the library. So I was volunteering with her. She worked in volunteer services. So I went to different events with her. I helped her do, just different tasks that she had throughout the library. And so I ended up working there. She got me a job working in circulation. So the people that will come up and, you check out your books with them, that's circulation. So I started there, and I just saw all the things that you can do in the library. I mean, it really isn't just books. You'll probably hear me say that over and over and over, because there are so many resources in the library. Not that books aren't important, because, they're very important. And I actually love books. So even before my mom started working there, I was going on my own, always checking out piles of books. My mom would bring us when we were younger. I started going when I started driving, 16, 17, started going on my own, got a job there. And then I just, figured out that I love it. I am a serious library advocate, meaning I realize the importance of libraries, and I will always talk about how important it is to the community. People come there, they play games. We have board games at the library. We have programs. Right now we're doing everything virtually, but we have programs for young people like story times for preschool. We had anime club for teenagers. So it really is just an all-inclusive place for everyone. Everyone needs to feel comfortable at the library. And I was always drawn to that. The people are really passionate about what they do, really passionate about the community. I think that is pretty much what kept me in the library was the community that you feel, people coming in that, come in at the same time every day or every week. You really develop, some relationships. We are able to communicate with like our teams because we have a large team population at the Warren Library where I'm at. So while they were out of school, we were talking on Facebook, on Snapchat, all these different things. So it really is a community, and that's what I really love about being in the library.
Nice. It's clear why you have such a good fit there at the library. That's so awesome as a place to serve. How about you, Terencio? How is it that you got to where you are?
That's a very good question, Tom. I'm glad you asked. So, as I was approaching high school in the 8th grade, I actually was wanting to do business and I wanted to do merchandising and marketing. And so, as I was going through high school, I did a lot of classes around marketing and business. And then I also was a member of the Business Professionals of America, doing some work around that in graphic design. And I really enjoyed that. As I went into college, I went into psychology to learn how to relate to people better because I felt that I connected with people on a deep level. And I did some experiences working with younger children also as well to connect with them on that level. And then I also did some internships along the way to get that added experience, which I know I'll talk a little more about that later. I know internships are needed to get to the next step when you want to pursue a career. And so, and then also, it's quite a journey to just get to where Mary Rig does. We have a lot of different services and resources that we provide our clients when they're in need. A lot of our clients have a lack of resources, so to speak. So they may be out of a job or they may live in an impoverished area, which means they have a lack of resources. For example, there may not be a grocery store near their home, and it may be more than a mile away for them to be access to food. And so Mary Rig acts as that hub of a service to them. So we provide a food pantry for them once a week so that they can have access to that food so they don't have to go further than a mile. And so I felt that going into high school, I now promote these services such as a food pantry and then also assistance programs such as financial assistance and education classes. And these help the people that we work with better their lives and give them that help, hope, and opportunity that Mary Rig stands on their mission.
Wow, that is so great. That's so wonderful. All right, how about you, Desmond?
I am, I don't have the story in 8th grade. I had this great epiphany to work with youth, to work in the non-for-profit field. I wanted to be a DJ. I love music. I always loved music, so I wanted to be a disc jockey. In Gary, Indiana, where I went to school, we had the Gary Area Career Center, and I went there for communications and radio broadcasting. I thought that I was going to be a DJ, and I would be spinning your favorite records Monday through Friday. But radio and TV broadcasting was the polar opposite. It was journalism. And I fell in love with it immediately. Went to college for communications, graduated, worked at several radio stations in Chicago, some larger ones, some smaller ones here in Northwest Indiana. And then I got laid off. Got laid off for a Chicago radio station. We were trying to be the radio version of CNN. 30 of us got laid off on July 15th. I remember that day because my birthday is on July 16th. So I had to cancel my weekend birthday plans because I was broke. And I'd done some mentoring at a local high school. The principal remembered me. I reached out to him, told him I was just kind of looking for some work. He gave me a job as a long-term substitute teacher because their social studies teacher was going to be out for the rest of the school year. because of that relationship I had with him prior to just mentoring kids anyway, and once a week, he gave me a job. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with teaching. I really liked it because I got a chance to teach middle school, and ironically, they were 8th graders, the same age that I'm talking to today. And I remember seeing so much of myself in those young men and those young women. As time went on, the older I got and I began to have kids of my own, I realized I don't like working with kids in that capacity that much. So I tried to figure out what other parameters I could work in education, because I still wanted to keep that core to what I did. And I also wanted to find a way I could implement my degree, communications and marketing, and how I could use those together in tandem. I found some gaps in my community. I realized that a lot of our schools and urban communities, our students, they don't get the proper attention, the proper care, the proper resources that are necessary, for their academic success. I began to have conversations, and I began to work in an administrative kind of field for Ivy Tech and other school districts, and just helping them help our students. Then I stumbled upon this organization, a positive approach to teen health, and I was able to really enforce what I've learned in my career, academically, my experience, and take my degree skills and put them to use. And so now I help this organization, really spread the good news about what we do and how we can help students and families throughout Indiana. I guess it was a beautiful mistake. If you ask me, 8th grade me or senior year Desmond, did he see himself doing this? Heck no, man. I was going to be a famous broadcaster, but I settled into this role. I just believe that, destiny, purpose, passion, and sometimes mistakes can all lead you to where you're supposed to be. So happy to be here. Happy to do what I do.
Thanks, Desmond. You're reminding me that hardly anyone says, hey, when I grow up, I would like to be a nonprofit leader.
If you do, you're probably Mahatma Gandhi, right? Or Martin Luther King Jr.
Probably. Well, I know from my own situation that in 8th grade that I wanted to be in the, I wanted to be a forensic pathologist, which was what they do on CSI, because I watched the TV show, only it wasn't CSI, it was Quincy, and he led a great life. He lived on a boat. He got to hang around with all kinds of wonderful people and go out and solve mysteries, until I found out that I visited a real forensic pathologist and found out that they don't do any of that stuff. They work in a lab all the day, and they do lots of calculus and lots of dissection and laboratory work. And so it was great for me just to even understand, was my idea of the job the same as actually what the job was? Well, fast forward to after I graduated from college, I went to work for a company, because I wanted to learn what it was like to work with people and to be involved in serving them and working with teams of people and doing projects and stuff like that. And guess what? While I was there at that company, they said, Tom, you don't really belong in this place. You're good at what you do, but this isn't the place for you. And it was because I had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I had all kinds of varied interests. And so I found out that I needed to go out on my own and start my own company, where I could work with all kinds of organizations and fulfill what I knew was in my heart that I wanted to be able to do, which is help other people be better at what they do, and also think and make their dreams come true in their work and in their lives. And so, but that path was great to get there. I wouldn't say, I don't wish for a different path for myself at all, because it's landed me where I am, to be working with all kinds of people and all kinds of organizations, and to have friends like you all, which is so great. We were talking earlier, there are lots of misconceptions that people have about what it means to be in the nonprofit world or to work in the nonprofit arena. And I thought we just might go around and share a little bit about, maybe everybody share a common misconception that you know of, and so we can just kind of clear that up about what people think when they hear about the nonprofit world. Kevin, how about if you give us one there? What's a common misconception?
Yeah, so a common misconception when you probably think of nonprofits, you may think of more like worldwide things. Let's help everyone get out of poverty in a different continent, right, or a different country. Yet there's a lot of aspects of what a nonprofit can do here in Indiana, and actually in your community and right around your school. So there's a nonprofit for almost everything. So if for poverty, for for child abuse, for healthcare, right? So if you are experiencing something in your life, right, and you need to talk to somebody or find something to help you out or help a friend out, right, around maybe suicide or different thoughts or drugs or something like that, there's a nonprofit for that actually very close to probably where you're at. So a big misconception, it's not, nonprofits aren't just worldwide. They're in the nation, they're statewide, and they're actually very close to your home and to your school as well. So we are here to help you in any capacity, and there's a nonprofit there to help you get resources and get the help you need, and also for you to help someone else.
Awesome. Yeah, one of the things that all of us have in common is that we work with organizations that serve young people. And so if you can just think of all the services that young people need in the community, it's likely that we are involved in nonprofits that support those kinds of needs. Thanks, Kevin. How about you, Lauren? What's a misconception you know about?
So I actually want to talk about two different kind of misconceptions. First, misconceptions, well, also in addition to all the resources and help you can get for nonprofits, there are also nonprofits like in the arts. So if you are a dancer, there are nonprofit organizations that you can join. If you are a poet, there are nonprofits that you can join. So it's in addition to getting help with food and clothing and just your essentials, there are also some nonprofit organizations that want you to be personally enriched, you know, with the arts and the sciences. And I mean, I would say Indianapolis, Indiana is really great about having a bunch of resources in different kinds of not really sectors, but businesses or arenas, areas. You can pretty much find a nonprofit anywhere in anything. I would like to also dispel a couple of misconceptions about the library. So a lot of people think that you just come in, you got to be quiet. Everybody is reading all the time. Librarians are reading all the time. That's all anybody does. We do like to keep the noise level down, but the library is a bustling, active place, so we want people to enjoy it. There are children that are going to be on the computer. There are going to be classes going on in a corner. I mean, there's a lot of things to do. If you go to our central library, there's always a program going on. They pull out robots. They have a maker space where you can sew. You can use the Cricut in there, which is, you know, you can make your own t-shirts. Somebody made their own t-shirts at the library. You can use the computers. I know somebody that started their own travel business at the library. So it really isn't just books. There's a ton of things that are available. And then one of the things that is unique to the library is we're a hub of resources. So if there's anything that you need, we can find it for you. We're like an in-person 211. 211 is like the information helpline. That's what the library is like. We can help you with just about anything. I've had people actually call and ask me what the price of bananas is at Walmart. So we can help you with just about anything. If you need help on schoolwork, whatever, we got you.
Nice. I appreciate you pointing out that nonprofits are not just about solving community problems, but also about the greater community good. All that, I mean, I love taking advantage of all the music and arts and those kinds of things that are so important, and the library itself. I'm glad we don't have to be quiet there anymore. How about you, Desmond? What do you think?
Nonprofit growing up. Do you remember the commercials? And maybe the 8th graders don't. This is for you guys. The commercial that had the dogs and the sad song would be singing in the background about saving the puppies. I thought that's what a nonprofit was. Or I was going to do Habitat for Humanity with Jimmy Carter. That's what nonprofiting was to me. I didn't think that I would be able to enjoy it, nor it be a field where I could actually make money, you know, and have a lucrative career. I just kind of took a lot of the perceptions that were given to me through media, television and movies. But going into it, when I found this organization and I was introduced with the opportunity to work with them for PATH, Positive Approach to Teen Health, I said, man, this is fun. Like, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. I get to not only fulfill some inner desires or passions that I have, I get to help people. And I'm a helper by nature. That's one of my love languages. I love to serve and help people. And so this job has really transformed the way I even think about non-for-profits and the way I even speak about non-for-profits. Because I want to let 8th graders know, and gosh, even some adults know, that don't pigeonhole yourself to thinking a non-for-profit is A. It's not linear, right? It's not just A equals B. There's a wide variety of things that you can do out there, and it will blow your mind, the limitless opportunities of creativity and innovation and desire. It just pulls you so many different ways. It's kind of like being a leaf in the wind. You just hop in and let it take you where it wants to take you. And I hope that as you guys hear some of the misconceptions that were out there about non-for-profit, you kind of take that and you think to yourself, you consider, maybe I can see myself working in the non-for-profit field or sector, whatever that may be. Find your passion, find your purpose, and you'll find something that you'll enjoy doing for the rest of your life.
Thanks. How about Terencia? How about you? How about a misconception?
Well, Desmond took the one that I was going to say, but I came up with a couple more. So my one misconception is the fact about the nonprofit not having money, which is one big misconception. So nonprofits do earn money. However, they cannot use that money to make profit. What they have to do with that money is to share those services at a reduced cost to their targeted population. And so I can use an example for what Mary Rick does. So they have reduced services for before and after school care for families that use their before and after care at the center. And so right now we have about 40 students that come at the before school after care that receive tutoring services, nutrition services, and receive some tutoring through some in-kind services through our community partners. And that happens 5 days a week before and after school. It starts at 6 a.m. and finishes around 6 p.m. And then another misconception about nonprofits is that there's only a handful of types of nonprofits. And I think Lauren spoke a little bit about this. So she spoke about the library. All of us are connected through youth workers. However, there are many other nonprofits that cater to the elderly people or animals or the arts or education. And that's just a few of different types of nonprofits that are out in even in your community. So 8th graders, as I say to you, and as Desmond had spoken about, whatever you are passionate about or something you're interested in, I say to you, keep asking questions, research on it, push on. It's out there. And if it's not, create the path for it.
Great. I think a misconception that comes to my mind is that you can't make money. And some of you already kind of have touched on it, but you can get paid a good wage. You can get paid a good salary. You can make a life and have a family and do all the things that you want to do by making a salary that is equal or comparable to those who are not working in the nonprofit world. There are lots of jobs that are low paying. There are lots of jobs that are higher paying. It's just a matter of which ones you want to take and craft for yourself. So I know nonprofit leaders who make 20,000, and I know nonprofit leaders who make 500,000. There are more at the 50,000 range than any of those others, and yet they're all there and in between. So it's possible to actually make a living and work in the nonprofit world. And it's not a misconception, but I think a secret in the nonprofit world is you get to work with the most wonderful, purposeful people who are trying to make this planet be an awesome place to live. Hence the people who are here on this panel. And I don't know if you've thought about the kind of people that you want to work with when you're working, but I do encourage you to think that way, because you spend a lot of time with the people whom you work with. And I'm so glad to be able to spend time with the people like Kevin and Desmond and Lauren and Terencia. So think about that for yourself. How about, I see we're getting close on time here. For me, it was a little while. This was over 10 years ago that I was in 8th grade. But what is something that you might, I'm going to ask the panelists, what is something that you wish you knew as an 8th grader? So like, what's some advice that you would give to your 8th grade self? 8th graders, I don't know how you're going to take this. Let's see. But here's the advice that we would give to ourselves. Related to life in general or career in specific. Lauren, what you got? What would you tell yourself?
I think I would tell myself to calm down. Calm down, take it easy. You don't have to know everything right now. Just take life as it comes. I had a specific picture in my mind that of what my life was going to be like at the age I am now. It looks different. My life now looks different, and I'm okay with that. I never, although I love the libraries, I never thought about having a lot or being in the libraries as a career, but I'm very, very grateful that I chose that path. But I would just say, experience everything that you can. Don't be shy. Put yourself out there. But everything will be as it should be. Just relax. You don't have to be so intense all the time. Yeah, that's probably it.
Great. How about you, Kevin?
Yeah, well, there's a lot I would probably go back and tell myself in certain moments. But if overall, when I was an 8th grader, I wish someone would have told me, don't focus so much on the influence of what your friends are doing. What do you want to do, right? What choice do you want to make? Because this is your life, your body, right? Your mind. And yes, to experience anything and everything, but also keep in mind, is this something that you feel good about, right? Or is this something that you may not feel as good about or bad about if you make that choice or decision? So it's okay to say no to your friends or influences or ideas that you don't feel comfortable with. On the second aspect of that would be to, as a part of that and say no, is to making yourself feel uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is to new experiences. So when you want to experience something different, or if you already know that you like doing one thing, or music, for example, right? Instead of just going through the same old thing and saying, I want to do this, do it, right? And when you become uncomfortable and you have that like strange feeling that's in you, that means that you're growing, and you're going to learn if you like it or don't like it. But the only way you're going to find out is if you feel uncomfortable when you start it. So to feel uncomfortable and try new things, that's okay. Because that's how you're going to learn and grow, not just professionally, right, when you get a job, but as a person throughout high school and college or your career.
Awesome. How about you, Terencia?
Man, 8th grade. That was quite some time. 10 years ago, Tom. That's a good one. That's a really good one. 8th grader. So if I would have told myself in 8th grade something, I definitely would have told myself to keep failing. And so I'm going to break down what fail means to you guys. So fail is fall and immediately learn. And I consider myself a lifetime learner. You grow by learning, and you learn through failure. And that's how you keep growing, keep asking questions. I had wished I had told myself to just keep growing, keep learning and failing a lot of times, instead of just putting expectations on others and not myself. And I am grateful to be where I am at now, but I had wished I told myself to just keep learning more and encourage myself just to listen to my inner self more.
Nice. How about you, Desmond?
I saw a quote one day on the back of a bumper on the highway. That sounds kind of creepy, but never mind. The quote said, "Everyone who wanders isn't lost. And I would tell my 8th grade self that it's okay to just wander, be that free spirit. You're in 8th grade. You girls, and in my case, girls, but whomever, whatever, 8th grade, whatever you like boys, you like girls, whatever. You're trying to have a girlfriend or boyfriend at that time. You're trying to be cool. You're trying to stay up on all the latest trends. You're trying to, and then you're approaching high school, right? You're about to be a freshman in high school, and so the pressure's really on. You're trying to adapt who you are to fit into this mode. Just wander, and just be you. I wish I would have just told myself it's okay to be you. And if people can't accept that, if they tease you for that, if they call you weird or a nerd or names, it's temporary. That moment in life, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and even 12th grade, those are temporal moments. And when you're in school, when you're in, like you are in middle school, sitting in those seats right now, well, you're not sitting in seats, you're at home, but we were sitting in seats. You think that's the end all get all. This is your life. This is going to be forever. No, there's a life after graduation. There's a life after the bell rings and you go home. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to be this character. You don't have to know where you're going in life. You're in 8th grade, girl, guy. Just enjoy it. Wander, man, and let life, let your intuitions, let your questions, let your inquisitive thinking lead you to a beautiful, wonderful path. No pun intended.
Desmond, I think just have to echo what I'm hearing from you and everybody else in terms of what I would tell my 8th grade self is, first, it will be all right. So whatever this major thing that you think is going on this right now, it will be all right, and it will pass. And I would tell my 8th grade self to keep trying new things. So if there's something that's happening, go ahead and go attend that. If there's something some information that you could get, go find that out. Go to that event, talk to that person, try all these new things, because you can't know. You don't have enough experience at 8th grade to know what all you want to do and who all and everything all. And the only way to find that out is to explore and to discover. And so if you could just take, yes, I'll give that a try as a mantra, which I think I ended up kind of doing. And then the path was wonderful and looked like this. I would tell myself to keep trying things out. So I guess we'll end with that, and we all want to say thank you to all of you 8th graders who have, if you've even sat this far, if you sat this far through, you deserve some kind of a medal. And we thank you for listening to us about our thoughts related to the nonprofit arena, but really about careers in general. We wish the best for you. Do we not, y'all? Do we wish the best for you all on your career path and in your school and all that kind of stuff, and hope that you stay safe and take care of each other. And we'll see you all out in the work world. All right. So thanks, Junior Achievement, for making this possible. We'll say bye for now.